Hello, Mama. I'm Janette, and I want to talk about why you're here watching this workshop. I want to acknowledge that might be a part of you that's a little bit scared about your upcoming C section, right? How much pain is this going to cause me? How weak will I actually be? And perhaps most of all, what's going to happen with that C section shelf? There will be a moment after your C section where you'll look down at your body and barely recognize what you see. This is a real life photograph of a mom 4 days after C section. Now, this mom wanted to share her photo with you because she'd never seen a fresh post C section belly before until her very own. Like you, maybe, she was shocked at the bruising for weeks and the swelling where her strong abs used to be. And she was so upset that she still looked pregnant. I hear from moms all the time about the C section shelf. I'm so mad, Jeanette. I didn't sign up for these floppy jelly abs. Jeanette, I hate my body. I can't wear any of my clothes. Jeanette, I am so upset. Everyone tells me that I just had a baby, so I should just live with this, but I don't want to. Now, I'm guessing that you've already asked for help yourself. Maybe you've asked your doctor, your midwife, your friends, but you didn't get the answers that you wanted. You've probably been searching everywhere, trying to get more information, like online, and on Instagram. You might even be on your second cesarean and not know much more than the first. Here's what I want you to know, like how you feel, like your fears, your anger, all of this stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so valid. So please don't let anyone take that away from you. However, there's something you need to know. The C section shelf, that doesn't have to be your belly reality. So, what if I told you this? That there are specific things that you can do right now while you're pregnant to minimize your pain. That dreaded C section shelf, regain your strength without leaving your house, without spending tons of money, in only 5 minutes a day. Doesn't this sound too good to be true? Well, here's the best part, it's real. I have a proven method that will accomplish all of this. Now, the only thing you have to do is your homework, 5 minutes a day, but to start that now. Because what that will do is it'll save you months, even years of struggling with your body's appearance and your strength. Because, my friend, your surgery, it doesn't have to ruin your body. I'm Janette Yee, C section therapist, and I've helped thousands of moms prepare for and recover from the same surgery you're about to have. So, before we dive into 3 simple things that you can do right now to impact your C section shelf, it's pretty important to know what the C section shelf actually is. As a therapist, I wish all women were told the following. Okay, ready for this? Surgery, which is a C section, all surgeries cause swelling. All surgeries cause scar tissue. In pregnancy, all pregnancies stretch out the abdominal muscles. Now, these 3 things are the biggest reasons why you are going to have a C section shelf in the first 6 weeks. Like everybody will get a C section shelf. Everybody. Because everybody will get swelling, scar tissue, and stretched muscles. Everybody. So if you're feeling a little anxious and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Here's something else I want you to know. Swelling, there's something you can do about that. Tight scar tissue, there's something you can do about that too. Stretched core muscles, absolutely something you can do about that. Which means there is absolutely something you can do about your C section shelf. And quite frankly, is something you should be doing. You're just not told about it. That's all. See, take a look at these two moms, for instance. One did prehab and the other one didn't. Right? Prehab means doing your homework before the surgery, doing those 5 minutes of exercise a day, okay, preparing for your surgery. That's what prehab means. So, this mom here on the left, 6 weeks postpartum, she did her 5 minutes a day. The mom on the right, 9 weeks postpartum. Do you see the difference? Right? Look at the difference in the swelling. Look at the difference in the muscle tone, right? You see the mom on the right hand side, her belly, you could tell that it's weighted and heavy. And it's not because she's got extra fat. The muscles just aren't the same tone. And that C section shelf, take a look at that. On the left hand side, the mom's belly is pretty much flush to her body, right? That scar is flush to her body. But on the right hand side, you could see underneath that scar is tucked right in. That really creates that shelf like appearance. So the key here is it's not what they did differently after the surgery, right? They both did the same things, but the mom on the left started those things before the surgery. And before the surgery, her muscles learned what to do. Here, let's take a look at Beth. So Beth is slightly different. Her story is that she had a myomectomy, which means she didn't have a baby. She had a 5-pound fibroid removed from her. So she started her prehab 3 weeks before her surgery, but not a ton of time. But she trained her body and the muscles what they needed to do. So over 2.5 weeks, 4 weeks of getting those muscles back online and slowly, slowly starting to ramp up those exercises. Look at her belly by week 8. Aside from that vertical incision, it doesn't really look like there's evidence of a surgery, does it? So this is the secret that most people miss. Your recovery doesn't necessarily start after the surgery. It starts before. So, if you have the opportunity to learn the prehab before your C section, then you can hit the ground running on day one, even with a newborn and no sleep. Want to learn some of these secrets? Let's do it. C section shelf secret number 1. This is called belly breathing, and you want to do this before your surgery. This one exercise changes everything. It brings down swelling, it reconnects your brain to your muscles, which were cut during the surgery. It helps to regulate pain. And in other words, it does wonders for your C section shelf. And you know what's great? You can do this exercise anywhere. So let's try it now. Do this exercise in any position you want, sitting, standing, lying on your side, on all fours. It doesn't really matter. The point is, you want to learn to use the correct muscles. So I'm just going to demonstrate this in kneeling position so you can see what's happening. If you place your hands on your bare belly, your fingertips are going to be on either side of your belly button. Let your belly relax entirely. This is when you inhale. When you exhale, you're going to gently draw your belly in, and you'll see and feel your fingers coming closer together. Inhale slowly over 4 counts. Let your belly start to hang, and your fingertips will come apart. Exhale, draw your belly in, and your fingertips will gently come together. You're going to try to do this for up to 5 repetitions without stopping. Do this with your eyes closed and really focus on how this feels, both inside your body and with your hands on your belly. What I'm going to do now is show you a very common mistake that a lot of moms do. So, when one is pregnant, we think of breathing as, well, wherever we can get the breath into. And usually that's up here. So, a common issue or mistake with the belly breathing is that the belly breathing doesn't go into your belly, it actually goes into your chest. And you might feel your belly is moving, but in actuality, it's the ribs where the breath is going into. So please make sure that you are mindful of this very common mistake. Put your eyes on your belly and your hands on your belly to prevent this. Now, this is your golden opportunity. I mean, you can start this when you're pregnant, and you're going to teach your body this muscle memory that will kick in after surgery, even after your abdominal layer has been cut. If you can get this done now while you're pregnant, truly, you're going to be ahead of the game, because most C-section moms, well, they have their emergency C-sections. They will never have this opportunity that you have right now. Janice took advantage of this opportunity, and she started with her belly breathing before her twins arrived. And she says, "Thank goodness I learned belly breathing before the twins came. It was surprisingly hard to do after surgery, even when I had the time to practice with the babies in the NICU for 2 weeks. If I hadn't done it ahead of time, I'm not sure I would have been able to learn it properly." Here is what you want to do right now. Take action by practicing your belly breathing 5 times a day. You can do this in any kind of position, as I mentioned: sitting, standing, lying on all fours, lying on your side. And this is going to be part of your daily 5-minute routine before and after surgery. But really, it's not even going to take 5 minutes. Maybe it's going to be 2 to 3 minutes. And the takeaway here is every practice session now is building muscle memory your body will thank you for later, weeks, months, even years to come, especially if you're returning back to exercise and sports. See section shelf secret number 2, hospital stay game changer, the Maxi Pad trick. You know, at the hospital and for weeks afterwards, you're going to be told something. Don't get an infection, but you're not really going to be told how. So let me tell you. So you want to understand that infections are caused when things are warm and moist. While your belly is warm, you can't change that. You can control how moist it is. So you want to prevent moisture. And did you know that preventing infection is not just about health and safety? It's critical for preventing that C-section shelf. Here's why. Let's connect the dots. When infection sets in, swelling can be pretty dramatic. An infected scar can set your recovery back for days, weeks, even months if it's severe. And remember what I said at the beginning? One of the biggest causes of that C-section shelf in the first 6 weeks is swelling. No, that's why you want to really prevent an infection. So let's talk about this one simple hack that can be a difference between a smooth recovery and a potential nightmare. Now, maxi pads aren't perfectly sterile, but pretty darn close. You're going to take a maxi pad, thin one. See how big it is? The sticky portion is going to go on the inside of your high-waisted underwear. Pay attention here. High-waisted underwear is key. It's kind of got a little bit of a compressive function, but it's really going to help hold this maxi pad in place right over that external incision. Take a look. I'm wearing high-waisted underwear. Your incision is going to be somewhere between your belly button and your pubic bone. And that's exactly where your maxi pad is going to be. So place the maxi pad over the incision, and then you're just going to place your underwear on top of the maxi pad. Voila, it stays in place. Of course, once you got your high-waisted pants, your compression garment on top of that, it really won't have a chance to shift. Now, here's a hack for a body with an overhang. Because if you have an overhang, this technique isn't really going to work. Grab a panty liner. Now, the panty liner is going to be basically the same width as your external incision. You're going to fold the panty liner in half. You're going to lift your belly, Tuck the panty liner underneath the overhang and let your belly relax over the maxi pad, the panty liner, and your belly will hold it in place. Pull your pants up over your belly, and there's your maxi pad hack. While you're still pregnant, you can get these exact supplies now to ensure that the Maxi Pad hack can be done starting day one. So put this in your hospital bag, but you're also going to need enough supplies for weeks afterwards. So here's what you want. You want to get some high-waisted underwear. You can get any brand you want, but the brand I really like is NYX. They're high quality and they're also leak proof. Pretty useful when you have lochia for the first 6 weeks postpartum. Maxi pads. Decide whether you want to have the big maxi pads or the panty liners, depending on your body. This will take about a minute a day, maybe less. Once you apply the panty liner or the maxi pad, set it and forget it. From a 5-minute routine perspective, this doesn't even take 5 minutes. But what's important is you want to practice the placement before the surgery. The placement on your belly, but the placement maybe inside of your pants. It won't take very much time at all. C-section shelf secret number 3, abdominal compression protocol. Okay, what does abdominal compression mean and what does it have to do with C-section shelf? Well, remember at the very beginning, swelling is a big cause of the C-section shelf. Therefore, if you create compression, that swelling really has nowhere to go. That's why you want to have an abdominal compression strategy for as soon as you can after surgery. Caveat, a lot of moms don't feel comfortable with compression on day one, so just listen to your body and start to apply that compression strategy, whatever you choose, as soon as you are comfortable. Because managing that swelling, it'll make a huge difference in that C-section shelf. So let's take a look. There are a lot of different types of abdominal compression to choose from. You can have traditional wraps like a Bangkang wrap here on the left. You can have high-waisted yoga pants, which these are not technical compression wear, but let me tell you, anything that was high-waisted pre-pregnancy, it's going to be pretty compressive post-pregnancy. You can have a wrap that physically wraps around your body, like in the third picture that I'm demonstrating. Or in the fourth picture, I'm demonstrating a wonderful compression garment from the makers of SRC Health. There are so many different types of abdominal wraps and abdominal compression. So you can get anything that will wrap around your body. For example, this is from Belly Bandit, and this fits around my body and my torso. Essentially, you want to select an abdominal wrap that covers from below your pubic bone to at least above your navel. So this particular wrap, it works for me, works for my body, but it doesn't necessarily work for you. So you really want to make sure you're measuring the garment or the wrap ahead of purchasing it. In general, you want to purchase something size up because if it's too small, you can't use it. By the way, the tighter the compression is not a better thing. Okay? Tighter is not better. Here is a compression garment. This is by SRC Health. And I love their compression garment because what's important is that it not only provides compression from the pubic bone, in this case, even between my legs, right? This is pelvic floor support, but it goes all the way to the top of my abdominals, which is actually all the way to my xiphoid process, right? Just below my sternum. So while this compression garment is tighter and tougher to put on, this is not something you'd want to wear on day one, or maybe not even in the first few weeks. But this truly is super effective in your swelling because you can wear it overnight. It won't slip. It is a gentle compression throughout the whole day. You set it and you forget it. Here are your action items for your compression strategy. First, You gotta measure for the correct size. Next, order your compression garment or wrap today. I can't even stress that if you have the opportunity to do this while you're pregnant, honestly, right after your surgery, you're just not going to have the time to be measuring and ordering. Besides which, you're going to be in a lot of pain. So, if you can, do this while you're still pregnant. From an application perspective, this will apply after your surgery. And it'll take, I wrote here, a minute a day. It depends what type of compression strategy you have decided upon. So it'll be 1, 2 minutes. But then once it's on, you set it and you forget it. From a 5 minute a day routine perspective, everything combined won't even take 5 minutes. This abdominal compression has a huge impact on a C section shelf, on pain, on protection of your healing abdominals. And quite honestly, when you are feeling a little secure in a wrap, it really does build confidence. And that neural pathway helps down regulate your already stressed out nervous system. Now, remember your belly breathing? Now, this is where it all pays off. So, you're going to do all the things together now. In your 5 minute routine right after your surgery, but of course, you're going to practice this before surgery. Right after surgery, I'm wearing my high waisted yoga leggings as an example. But you're going to have your compression strategy and you're going to do your belly breathing in sitting, standing, lying on all fours. I'm holding on to my belly here so I can feel that my belly is in fact moving, right? So you want to be able to touch, feel, and see if you are in fact doing the exercise correctly. So this is where it all pays off, right? The belly breathing and the compression works together. And if you're doing this, you're already ahead of most moms by learning this now. The belly breathing, infection prevention, and compression techniques that I just showed you, they're absolute must-dos for preventing that C-section shelf. And you want to practice and prepare before the surgery, then implement for the first 6 weeks after the surgery. Okay, here's the thing. These tips, they're just the beginning. Okay, remember in the first 6 weeks, the three main causes of the C section shelf, right? The swelling, the tight scar tissue, the loose ab muscles. Well, there are actually other equally effective and super easy exercises that would make it even more of an impact. And so here's the thing, the key is doing the right things the right way at the right time so you don't hurt yourself. What you need is a simple, proven plan that walks you through exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it safely. All right, here's what your recovery timeline would look like if you followed a plan, okay? So, this is your ideal scenario. In this first slide, it's 8 weeks before surgery. This is when you're pregnant and you're learning and practicing your core exercises. You're getting your compression items. And this is key. Prepare your support network, right? It's no different than if you were having a vaginal birth, you would still do a prenatal program, right? You got to prepare your partner. Maybe it's your mom and dad, maybe it's your in laws, whomever are helping you after your surgery. You got to prepare them before the surgery. Okay, this is the ideal scenario. So what else? Okay, 1 week before the surgery, but when you get all the stuff done before that, your house is ready. Your support people are ready, and you are relaxed. Doesn't that kind of sound nice? All right. Now, day one and the first week after surgery, you're starting your core exercises without hurting yourself. Your swelling and pain management strategies, you're starting those with confidence, right? You're not there going, "Oh my God, I'm in so much pain. What do I do?" Right? That's not going to be you. Week two and afterwards, after surgery, your core actually feels like it's connected. Your pain it has gone from like a 10 out of 10 to now it's manageable. You're moving more confidently. right? You're not scared to move. Like, oh my gosh, what if I hurt myself? And your C-section shelf, it's starting to change. Like you can actually see it. By week 6, look at this picture. This is a week 6 picture after surgery. Minimal C-section shelf formation, solid core connection. You're thriving, right? This means you're thriving. You're not just surviving, and you are ready to start scar massage and get into a workout program, like start exercising. Okay. Now, this is what Dr. Lacey did exactly. She started preparing beforehand, and this is what she wants to share with you. So, prehab was a game changer. I felt so prepared going into surgery. My daily rehab after C section, it really was just 5 minutes a day. I mean, I had no more time than that because I have 3 kids. But by week 6, I was ready to start real exercises and scar massage with Janette. You take a look at these pictures. Here's her week 4 picture, and by month 3, there's a complete difference in what her belly looks like. And that C-section shelf, that lip, it's pretty much gone. So, what exactly did Lacey do? She did the Cesarean Recovery Stage 1 program with me. You see, I'm an athletic therapist, right? I'm a therapist. I'm not a fitness influencer. I'm not someone who had a C-section once and has pitched herself as an expert, right? I'm a sports injury therapist. This is my proven rehabilitation program that's worked for thousands of moms after C-section. So what this actually is, it's a thing that saves you time. Right? You don't have a lot of time after you give birth. You don't. You really don't. So it's a done for you rehab program with videos of every scar massage and every exercise you're going to need to do to be able to do what? Target your C-section shelf to maximize that core connection, right? Your abdominal muscles and to eliminate your pain. Now, a lot of moms are still in pain even months later. At 6 weeks, like no pain, not in my world. Ultimately, you're looking to return to confident, active living. And that might look like going back to the gym, going back to running, keeping up with your kids, going back to sports, and even competition. So, what I want you to do is click that link below. It's going to take you to the Cesarean Recovery Stage 1 program. This is what it's going to look like. Are you having a C section soon? Maybe you just had a C section. Right? When you click that link on this page, this is going to show up. Here's what I really, really want to highlight for you. It's what I really want you to see. Okay, what are you going to get in that stage 1 program? So let's start at the top here. You're going to immediately, like right away, get all the videos. Immediately get all the videos. You're not going to have to wait until like a class or something like that. Immediately get all your videos, start your rehab right away or prehab. Next, short how-to videos, right? These are short. Click on them, follow them. That's all you need to do. Next part, mental health matters. Listen, a C-section is a very unique kind of injury. Even if you're expecting a cesarean, and half the time people have emergency C-sections, right? Even if you're expecting it, there can be a lot of emotions of like, oh my God, my body failed. Why does my body look like this? I hate it. And then if Janette says, okay, let's start touching your belly. Okay, let's start doing scar massage. And you think, I can't even look at my body, forget about touching it. That's what these mental health exercises are all about. Okay, it's super important that these are included. And this is what's really unique about the stage 1 program. This whole section was developed with mental health professionals. The next thing I want to tell you is this whole program is accessible through a convenient app. That means you can watch and listen and recover even at 2 in the morning when you're the only one awake. Okay, now let's take a look at these bonuses. Bonus number 1. Remember how I said I'm an athletic therapist? Look, this program includes an actual done for you rehab program. You could print it off like me. I like having things on paper, or you just save it to your mobile device or your computer. You see everything all on one page. and what to do every single week. And then you literally just click on the name of the exercise and you watch the video. Follow along. Bonus number 2, 6 weekly live classes. So every 2 months, I actually have live classes. I run live classes. You can join them if you want to. You don't have to. But what a lot of moms do is while they're pregnant, they'll join the live classes because I take you real time through some of the highlights of the program. You can ask questions, we practice exercises together. And then you might decide after you have your baby, you come and do the live classes again, right? Because these live classes happen every 2 months and there's 6 of them, right? So that's a big bonus. You can use them, you don't have to use them. Bonus number 3, private online community. Especially if you're across the world and timing doesn't work for those live classes, this is where you can write your questions and get them answered by therapists. This is moderated by therapists. It's very active, and you will surround yourself with positive, motivated C-section moms. Let's face it, recovering alone, it's pretty tough to do. Why starting today changes everything. Listen, in my experience as a therapist, the moms who struggle the most are those who don't do anything when they're pregnant. They're the ones who, after their C section, they just rest and do nothing. And sometimes that's what the doctor actually tells you to do. And that's not completely accurate, right? And also, there are those who just try to figure it out on their own. I don't want you to do that, right? You wouldn't wait to start rehab for any other surgery, right? For a knee surgery, a heart surgery, like any surgery. C-section requires and deserves the same amount of preparation and post-surgical rehabilitation in order to heal right the first time. Right? Look at these photographs. These are real life bellies in the first week postpartum, first week after C-section. And these moms shared these photographs with you because they want you to know that while you might look and feel like this in the first week, right? The transformation is absolutely positive and possible from surgery pain, the C-section shelf, to now look, getting back to running and having your baby greet you at the finish line. Going back to your job with full strength and ability, like this mom who plays the cello for professional orchestra. And to get back to sports that are full contact, like rugby, like this mom did in only a few months. This is absolutely, absolutely possible for you too, but only if you start today. So start now. Click on the link. Your future you will be so grateful.